You know that sinking feeling, right? That
Yeah.
moment your stomach just plummets because you realize, oh no, important data might be gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe it's that critical app or the database or just months of work in files. It's a dread we all know.
Keeps you up at night for sure.
But what if you could pretty much banish that fear with a really solid automated backup strategy?
That's the goal, isn't it? Peace of mind.
Exactly. So today we're taking a deep dive into just that. How you can use phrunner, which is a super powerful tool, together with Wasabi Cloud Storage to automatically back up your really crucial application files and, importantly, your MySQL databases.
Right.
Our mission here. To break down the essential configuration steps first, and then walk through a real script piece by piece. So you understand not just what to do, but the why behind it all.
Giving you that practical shortcut.
Yeah, shortcut to actually sleeping at night.
Exactly. And it really is a game changer, for anyone managing an application. Doesn't matter if it's small or some complex client system. Keeping that data safe, accessible. It's just paramount. So this deep dive hopefully gives you that practical, automated solution. Saves a lot of future pain.
Okay, let's dive in then. Before we even peek at the code, you mentioned there's a foundational setup, something inside phrunner itself.
Yes, absolutely.
That's absolutely critical for this whole backup script to work. What is that step, and why is it so, fundamental?
Well, the cleverness here is how the script leans on phrunner's own settings. It's built right in. So to get the script talking to Wasabi correctly, you have to configure a file field within your phrunner application.
Okay, a file field. So it's like phrunner holds the keys to the Wasabi kingdom, and the script just asks for them.
Exactly. Think of it like a pre-programmed address book inside phrunner. Tells the script exactly where Wasabi is and how to get in.
Got it.
Yeah.
So what are the specifics then? How do you set up this magic file field?
Right. So in your phrunner project, you pick a table. The script comments mention the categories table as an example, but it could be any table, really.
Okay.
That table needs a field, let's call it file for this example, and you set its type specifically to file image.
File image type, check.
Then, for that specific field, in its settings, you select Wasabi as the file storage provider from the dropdown.
Makes sense.
And right there, phrunner will ask for your Wasabi details. Your access key ID, your secret access key, the bucket name, and the region.
The usual suspects for cloud storage.
Yep, those are your direct connection points. And a really vital reminder for you listening, make sure you change the table name, like categories, and the field name, like file, to match your application's actual setup.
Right. Otherwise, the script's looking in the wrong place.
Exactly. It won't find that address book we talked about.
So how does that config translate into the script connecting? You mentioned a function.
Yes, precisely. So connecting this all up, this UI configuration is vital because the script uses phrunner's getCloudProvider function. Specifically, it calls getCloudProvider. Stamp PW Wasabi path.
TPW Wasabi, what's that part?
Good question. That's TPW Wasabi's basically phrunner's internal code, like a constant or an identifier, that tells the getCloudProvider function, hey, I need the Wasabi connection details.
Gotcha. It's like a shortcut name.
Exactly. And that function then dives into the project settings, finds that file field you configured, reads the access key, secret key, bucket, region you entered.
And uses them to make the connection.
Precisely. It establishes that secure connection automatically based entirely on what you set up in the visual editor. It's honestly quite slick how phrunner handles that.
That is pretty neat.
Okay.
Takes away a lot of the manual coding hassle for connections. Okay, so phrunner config's done. Keys are in place.
Yep.
How does the actual script use those keys? What's its grand strategy? Give us the high-level tour of what this script actually does once it's running.
Right. So this script is designed with a dual purpose, like a two-pronged attack against data loss.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
First, it backs up your phrunner applications files. That's, uploaded images, documents, whatever lives in your files folder, typically.
Standard stuff.
Second, it backs up your MySQL database, the critical data store.
Right. Both pieces.
Both pieces. And then it takes both of these backups it just created and uploads them straight to your Wasabi cloud storage bucket.
Offsite and safe.
Exactly. And the intention is you run this as a cron job.
A scheduled task.
Yeah, basically a utility on your server that lets you schedule commands or scripts to run automatically, daily, weekly, whatever you need.
Set it and forget it.
Pretty much. It keeps your backups fresh without you having to remember to do it manually every time.
Okay, so what's the flow then? Step by step, high level.
It's quite logical, really. Starts with initialization, setting up the PHP environment, loading those core PHP runner functions we need.
The ground.
Yep. Then file backup and upload, grabs everything in the files folder, zips it up nicely, sends that zip file over to Wasabi.
And then leaves the zip there.
No. Crucially, it then cleans up after itself by deleting that local zip file from your server.
Smart. Prevents clutter.
Very smart. Then it moves on to the database backup and upload. It runs a command to dump your MySQL database into a SQL file.
The raw data.
Raw data. Then it zips that SQL file, uploads that database zip to Wasabi.
And cleans up again.
And cleans up again, deleting both the local database zip and the temporary SQL file it created.
Nice and tidy.
Exactly. And kind of running alongside all this, there's a dedicated helper function just for the zipping part to handle compressing things neatly.
That's a really clear overview. Sounds like a well-oiled machine. Let's lift the hood now and look at the code itself. That PHP runner magic making it happen. What's the very first thing we see? Any important notes right at the top?
Well, yeah, the comments at the beginning are actually pretty helpful. They state the purpose and, importantly, they reiterate those critical Wasabi configuration requirements in PHP runner that we just discussed.
Good reminders.
Definitely. Then, beyond the comments, the first actual lines in code are what I'd call the must-haves, the absolute core setup.
Okay, what are they?
First, you'll see requirements.included bh woman.php. This line is, well, it's foundational.
Why that specific file?
Because dbcommon.php is the gateway. It loads basically all of PHRunner's core functions, database stuff, REST API utilities, everything. Without it, PHRunner functions like getCloudProvider simply wouldn't exist for the script. It wouldn't know what they are.
Ah, so it pulls in the PHRunner toolkit.
Precisely. Then you've got set time limit.
0.
0. Does that mean no time limit?
Exactly. It tells PHP, don't stop running this script no matter how long it takes. And trust me, for large backups, you need this.
Right. You don't want it quitting halfway through a huge database dump. Oh, definitely not. That's just frustrating. And similarly, you see any set memory limit 2048M.
Increasing memory.
To 2 gigs?
Yep, 2 gigabytes. Again, backup operations, especially zipping large amounts of data, can chew through memory. This gives the script enough headroom to work without crashing.
Makes total sense. Reliability first. Okay, environment set. What about the actual file handling? Zipping them up, getting them to Wasabi, any common traps there, like permissions or maybe running out of space?
Excellent points. Those are definitely the common gotchas. So for the file part, the script starts by generating a unique file name for the backup. Something like files, then the date and time, like files 2025710153.zip.
Ah, time-stamped. Useful for tracking.
Very useful. You can see exactly when each backup was made in your Wasabi bucket. Then it calls that custom zip function we mentioned earlier.
Right, the helper.
And it passes the path down. Now, this usually means go up one directory level from where the script is running.
This typically points to your main PHRunner application root directory, where the files folder usually lives. But, and this is crucial, you must adjust this path if your files folder is somewhere else relative to the script.
Got it. Path matters.
Hugely. Then, for the Wasabi upload, it uses that line, fives tasked it cloud provider, seti, path. Again, leveraging the settings you put in the PHRunner UI.
The magic connection function.
That's the one. Then it does something clever. It creates an array that kind of mimics the standard PHP file structure.
The one used for regular web form uploads.
Exactly. It packages the details about the zip file, its temporary location, original name, size, type in that standard format because that's what PHRunner's internal upload functions expect.
Ah, so it's pretending the zip file was just uploaded via form.
Sort of, yeah. It makes it easy to use PHRunner's built-in robust saving mechanism. The actual upload is done with offsave uploaded file.
And the cleanup. You mentioned that addresses the disk space issue.
Yes, the crucial cleanup. After fivesave uploaded file confirms the upload was successful, the script uses the PHP function unlink to delete the local zip file it just created.
2.
Yeah, seriously, I've troubleshot servers that ground to a halt because old backup files filled the entire disk. This step prevents that potential disaster.
That's incredibly important. Okay, file backup sounds solid, covered. But the database, how does it pull the data out of MySQL? That feels like the trickier part for a lot of folks.
It definitely can seem intimidating, yeah. The script handles this using a standard, powerful command line tool called MySQL dump.
Okay, MySQL dump. I've heard of that.
It's the go-to for MySQL backups. Now, here's a really critical point, especially when you're running the script automatically via Chrome.
What's that?
You absolutely must provide the full absolute path to the mysqldump.exe executable, or just mysqldump on Linux Mac, and also to the temporary SQL file it creates.
Why the full path? Can't the system just find my school dump?
Not always with cron jobs. When a cron job runs, it often has a very minimal environment. It might not know where your MySQL bin directory is located, unlike when you're logged in as a regular user.
So the path variable is different.
Exactly. So you'll get command not found errors if you don't specify the full path. Like, instead of just mysqldump, you need C that game mysqldump.exe or userd mysqldump or wherever it actually lives on your server.
That sounds like a classic gotcha. Must remember that.
Definitely. So the example command in the script looks something like this. C back mysqldump.exe, add drop table, host, localhost, user, root, live daemon, northwind, C runner apps, wasabi backup, database.sql. Let's break that down.
Okay.
C zemp mysqldump.exe, that's the full path you need to change.
Right.
Add drop table, this is a really useful flag. It tells mysqldump to include commands in the SQL file that will drop existing tables before trying to recreate them during a restore.
So it cleans up before restoring. Prevents errors.
Exactly. Prevents potential conflicts if you're restoring over an existing database. Then you have host, localhost, user root standard connection details, live daemon northwind. You must change this to your actual database name.
Obviously.
And finally, C runner apps wasabi backup database.sql that redirects the output, the SQL dump, into a file. And again, you must change this path to a temporary directory on your server where the script has permission to write files.
Okay, lots of customization needed there based on the specific server setup.
Absolutely critical customization.
Yeah, you mentioned security before. I see user root there. What about the password? Just adding password. Feels risky in a script.
You are absolutely right to bring that up. That's a major security concern. While you could technically add password, your secret password right there,
Don't do it.
please don't do it in production. Hard-coding passwords in scripts is a really bad idea.
So what's the better way for an automated script like this?
The recommended way is to use a MySQL option file. On Linux or Mac OS, it's usually called my.cnf in the user's home directory. On Windows, it might be my.ini.
Okay, separate config file.
Exactly. You put your database username and password in that file, secure its permissions so only the necessary user can read it, and then mysqldump and other MySQL command line tools will automatically read the credentials from there.
So the script doesn't need the password embedded in it. Much safer.
Much, much safer. So once the command is constructed safely, the PHP function exec command is what actually runs it. It tells the operating system, go execute this mysql dump command.
Got it. Database dumped. What happens next? Similar to the files part.
Very similar flow, yeah. Once the database.sql file exists, the script generates a unique time-stamped file name for the database zip, like database tuna25071101530.zip.
Okay.
It calls that same zip helper function to compress the database.sql file.
Right.
Then it uses the exact same get cloud provider logic and the save uploaded file method to upload this database zip file to Wasabi.
Reusing the connection and upload code. Efficient.
Very efficient. And then comes the double cleanup.
Double.
Yep. After the database zip is safely in Wasabi, the script deletes both the local database zip file, database.zip, and the original database.sql dump file using unlink.
Gets rid of both temporary files,
Right.
keeps the server tidy.
Exactly. No lingering large SQL files or zips taking up space.
Okay, that makes sense. So we keep mentioning this custom zip function. Sounds like it's doing some important work in the background. What's its secret sauce? What's it actually doing?
Yeah, it is the unsung hero, isn't it? It's a really crucial piece of custom PHP code that handles all the zipping for both the files directory and the single database SQL file.
That's versatile.
Very versatile. First thing it does is a quick sanity check. Is the PHP zipped archive extension actually loaded and available on the server?
Because PHP needs that extension to create zips.
Precisely. If the extension isn't there, it can't do anything, so it needs to check. It also checks if the source file or directory you asked it to zip actually exists.
Good checks.
Then it uses PHP's built-in zip archive class. That's the standard PHP way to work with zip files.
Okay.
Now, the really clever bit, especially for zipping the files directory, is how it finds everything inside. It uses something called a recursive iterator.
Whoa. Okay, that sounds complicated.
Yeah, the name is a bit much. But basically, you just need to know it's a smart way to automatically loop through every single file and every single folder inside the directory you give it, no matter how many levels deep the folders go.
So it digs through everything automatically, finds all the nested files.
Exactly. Ensures nothing gets missed. It also does a little cleanup, making sure it uses forward slashes in the paths inside the zip file, which helps with compatibility across different operating systems.
Nice touch.
And then the final critical step is return zip close. This tells the zip archive object, okay, we've added everything, now finalize the zip file and save it to disk. Without the close, you wouldn't actually get a usable zip file.
Got it. So it iterates, adds files, and then seals the deal.
That's a great way to put it. Seals the deal.
Wow. Okay, that's quite a journey through the configuration and the script. Lots of moving parts, but it sounds incredibly solid once it's set up correctly.
It really is.
So we've gone through the mechanics, the nuts and bolts. Let's zoom out again. What does all this mean for you, the listener, managing your applications? What's the big picture takeaway here? How can you apply this?
Well, the big takeaway is that this deep dive shows you a really powerful and, importantly, robust way to automate your PHP Runner app and database backups using Wasabi.
Automation and robustness. Key goals.
Definitely. By understanding not just the code line by line, but the why behind the PHP Runner UI config and each step in the script's logic, well, that gives you the confidence to actually implement this or something like it effectively.
And adapt it, presumably.
Absolutely adapt it. And, here's something people often forget. A backup strategy is only truly complete if you test your restores.
Ah, good point. The backup is useless if you can't restore from it.
Exactly. So many places set up backups and never test them. Then disaster strikes, they try to restore, and oops, it doesn't work for some reason they never caught. So this script gets a backup part automated, but you still need to periodically test restoring that data. That's step 2.
Crucial advice.
So think of this script as a template. It provides a vital component for any serious application, that reliable, automated disaster recovery plan. It really showcases how PHPrender's internal API lets you integrate smoothly with cloud services just by setting up a field in the UI.
The power of the platform.
Right. But the key word is template. You absolutely must customize it. The paths, the database name, the table, and field names in PHPrender for your specific environment, just like we discussed.
Makes sense. It's a starting point, not a copy-paste solution.
Precisely.
So thinking about this automated safety net, it really makes you consider other possibilities, doesn't it? What other parts of an application could benefit from similar integrations using PHP Runner's features to connect with external services?
Lots of potential there.
This whole deep dive really shows how even tasks that seem complex, like automated cloud backups, can be broken down into clear, manageable steps. It's about safeguarding your work, your digital assets. As you think about putting this into practice for your own projects, what stands out to you as maybe the single most important configuration detail to get right for ensuring that backup actually runs successfully every time?